Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Jannu tribe. And we are here at the Reborn Mother's Peninsula, where we have so many babies being born in the nest, and that is so exciting, especially for Anaro, who so far is the father of both of the young babies that you see behind him, and the babies awaiting in their mother's stomachs right over here. Anaro's kind of shocked. He was over here with Nami, who has been his love of his life ever since he was assigned to take care of her when they were both still children. And then he had the beautiful Oraoka pop up out of the water, completely enchanted with him and very eager to get down to the business of having lots of beautiful swimming babies with him. And she just came right up and happens to have the appearance that Anaro finds very attractive, this beautiful orca pattern. And I'm really hoping, oh my gosh, I'm so excited that I'm tripping over my words. I'm really hoping that we'll be able to finally see that swimming orca group that I desperately wanted when I first learned about the beautiful aquatic skills that our creatures could have. But of course, those of you guys who have been following along for the last few days know that there are so many stories going on our island, but one of the biggest things that I am currently working with and the most curious about is what is going to happen with Beryl and Toomey back here, our dark pandas of the shadows. These, more so than the aquatic creatures, are actually where the future of the tribe is going to be from now on. I am going to be focusing very strongly with this group in particular, with trying to have some more powerful children born so that we are able to really see stronger creatures come out of the Jannu tribe and prepare to leave for the third and final island. I think there's actually one more island in this version after this called like the Killer Island, which is the fourth island, but we'll talk about that in the future if we can make it that far. But I'm very antsy to go and explore that island. It's going to be very hard. There's supposed to be tons and tons of predators, and we need to have stronger creatures if we're going to be able to get there. So let's go ahead and see what kind of baby Beryl is going to bring into the world, and also just take one last moment to say goodbye to Corey. She has been one of my favorites, even though normally the hedgehogs are more trouble than they are worth, but we are going to say goodbye to Corey, and she is leaving behind a new son and a new daughter who can hopefully help to clear the path and make way so that one day, with the other rogue-born children that live here on the Lost Peninsula, one day they can have cleared the paths away so that the other tribe members who are ready to go to the final island can wander through the paths that they make and wander across the stones and prepare for the big battles awaiting them. So Corey is resting on the bones, and this is her final moment, so she's going to be passing away here. And I really hope Canoe Duke and her daughter, Chorus, will be able to just stay strong. You two, stay strong. I know it's hard. It's really difficult to say goodbye to your mother, but she's been an amazing warrior princess her whole life, and losing her is going to be okay, because it's just the cycle of life. But the cycle of life is also birth. So let's settle in and see what kind of baby Beryl is going to have. Oh my goodness, he's gorgeous. Beryl, he's so pretty. I love him. He looks so much like his father. This is actually a child born from, ooh, and look at how crowded the family tree is getting. It's all over the place again. But this little guy, let me see if I can find him. Neuro. His father was Rovanta, and I'm actually going to grab, so I think I'm going to name him Beryl. Man, he's awesome. Look at that. BNF immunity. And what do we have here? He's got the poison fangs, which we really, really, really want to make sure we keep in the family. Green eyes. Not exactly 100% the traits we were going for with what Beryl really wanted for her children. But we'll name him, let's see, Neuro. We've had a few Neuros, so I want to try to differentiate between the past Neuros and the current ones by renaming these guys. I think we'll go ahead and rename him, let's see, Bavanta. Or, no, that's really weird, actually. It sounds like a weird drink. Rovanta was his father, and Beryl, Royal? Let's see. Rael. Yeah, there we go. We'll go with Rael. And so that's her son, Rael, and she's going to take good care of him. I'm very excited to see that he has the venomous fangs. I want to pass that down her line, and he has the cracking ability. The things that I'm really going for are the strongest creature we can make with the ability to have nimble fingers, so we can always crack open the nuts that we can find, and of course collect at least a few berries. But I want to keep the venomous fangs. I would have loved to keep the panda pattern. Do we have any panda pattern males? I don't think we do. Hello there. How about no? Oh my gosh. Of everybody who could possibly be attacked, is Anna the strongest of the seers that we have left in the entire tribe? Is the one who currently has a predator breathing down her neck? I don't think so. Racimi is not going to be okay with that. Racimi is going to zip over here. And then we're going to have Ravan zip over here. Ravan was leaving so that he could occupy most of his time searching for koi fish. But this is actually, this like right here, Izana is carrying his child. I think that he would whip around and see that there was such terrible danger. We'll have to send, Rira is going to zip over to take care of her friend. We'll move little Chet out of the way. Whoops, I moved him towards the predator. That was not my goal. Lilia is not going to take well to this guy. Hello, you are not having the Seer of all things end up being in danger here. Can she do like one more attack? He's still there? How could he's still got, and unfortunately all Rira can do is like try to get between her friend and like defend, and oh my gosh. And I think Baria is going to swing down here. Baria did it! Thank goodness. They protected the Seer. They protected the last Seer that we have of the tide pool, who really has like the most traditional look to her. Oh, that was not cool. Oh my gosh. I think Rira's gonna like frantically pick some berries to offer up to Izana. Clearly, we need to start spreading our creatures out a little bit more to fill up the shadows, because that predator showed up from an explored area. Oh my gosh. All right, so we're gonna have to really watch out there. And then over here, yes, we have another child born into the group with the awesome ability to breathe underwater. Unfortunately, he also cannot do anything else under the water. Banra, why? Why, little one? So let's see. He too is short-sighted. I'm beginning to think Anaro and Nami cannot have children together. Nami, I think I need to get you a new boyfriend. But meanwhile, oh, and even Nuta. Anaro, why do you have unhealthy children? Even little Nuta also has these issues. Oh my gosh. So Nuta has been born, and he's got cracking ability and no pattern fur, but he doesn't have any antlers, or else he might have been a twist and suddenly been a male Seer. But let's see, he's got big body secondary. Unfortunately, he doubled up on the immunities. I was really hoping that wouldn't happen. Why can't we seem to get immunity D past any of your children? Like, you need to have... What is with this? He can't have a single child with... Oh, Anaro, you don't have immunity D. Who had immunity D? Oraoka did. So Oraoka might need to find a new mate, because that's not really working. Anaro, all of your children, half of them can breathe underwater, but half of them can't do anything. Maybe Tigaris. Between Tigaris and Anaro, maybe they'll be able to actually have some of the children that we need. Tigaris is slowly gathering the clamshells and trying to figure out what her future should be. And I think that maybe they can have some healthy kids. So darn, we ended up with a lot of children that we can't really do much with, which sounds terrible, but it's true. We'll have little Anais come down here, and Lanako can come down here too. And they have the look we want, they just don't have the genetics that we need. So what about Koki? Koki and Nami might have a fishing tail child with gills. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead. Koki, come on over. And we might try... I think that trying not to get too offended by it, Anaro is going to go ahead and have a child, or not have his child be born. We're going to have a lookalike Koki step in and try to offer his genetics. But meanwhile, we're just ending up with a very messy tide pool over here. A tide pool full of little itty bitties who aren't really able to offer much in the way of genetics. However, Mirami and... where did he go? Mirami and Ravan might be a good mix. And Ravan, he might actually be a good mix. He has antlers. He has red antlers. So Ravon might be a good mix for down here. He also has fishing tail. I think we might have to see what kind of romance that might boil out to be. All right, and then Mirami, she can finally start moving. Kovan is one of her children. And Sansi, I'm ending up with a lot of doubled up immunity. I'm gonna have to really be careful of that. Mirami is gonna start moving this way because she does have at least one more child left in her, and I'm gonna try to see if I can have some healthy babies with her. Ending up with some very, very interesting genetics coming out. Sansi, I might send Sansi up to the north, I think, because he can't swim. He does have claw, but that just does one little bit of fishing. And so he might be a potential mate for Beryl and her sister. Yeah, he could actually be a potential mate for Tumi because they don't share immunity. Let's see. And Nunu shares immunity with both of them. And then Kuki does have immunity D, but they sure as heck don't want fishing tail in this family. I don't think, actually, does any of the other tails, there's fishing tail, swimming tail, or fluffy tail, so it wouldn't hurt to have fishing tail. I just think that Beryl would not be very happy about it. All right, so yep, I think that's what I may do. And Rila, I was going to breed you with somebody. I think pretty much everybody. Rila can pretty much just have all the babies she wants, and they may be very, very interesting, but I think that somehow she's just dearly beloved by like everyone from Kuki to Sansi, maybe even Kovan, and she's just cherished by all of them because she was raised in the same nest as all the boys were. And Kuki, I might want to, he does have the poison fangs. I think that's what's going to win out. And he's young, so he can go ahead and like start adventuring up north and maybe run into the sisters here. Oh, somebody is stealing those berries over there. I'm just going to have to leave that be for a moment though. I want to clear away some more of the grasses around us. And I think that Beryl is going to step this direction, clear away the grasses, gather up some berries, and plot having the stronger creatures born in the tribe. And then Nunu, he can do a little exploring, collect some berries. And Nunu and Tumi, maybe? I think Kuki, I want to try with Kuki because he's got panda pattern, and I really want to try to pass on that panda pattern. So Kuki, we'll go ahead and breed with you and have your venomous fangs hopefully add in. Nunu, about face, sir, or just explore over to the left instead. All right, I'm so glad we saved Izana. That was not what I wanted, having Izana be risked like that. And let's see. Last thing we'll have over here is we can have Dugdrio come over, and he can actually gather up some of these clamshells. And I also want to get the baby protected. Somebody protect the baby. We don't have any protection for the baby right now. We need an adult next to this baby. All right, Canoe Duke is trying to keep an eye on his sister, so we're just going to cross our fingers that no hawks will show up at the last moment. Oh, there's a whole berry bush over here. What? I bet that the bunnies have just been clearing it away for ages, so we'll start exploring this way so we can try to let the boys kind of loop all of the trails up together so it's easy for our creatures to get in over here. Alright, so let's go ahead and see what kind of child Isana, our last proper Seer of the Tide Pool line, is going to have. I'm really hoping it'll be a red antlered female. Close, but no cigar. Oh my goodness, we were so close. Laco, she does have the Seer ability. She just is missing the antlers, and she has cracking ability at least, so Rira can escort her down to all of those awesome clamshells we found down here. That's so adorable. Isana, I'm so glad you had a little child. We're gonna name her Isria, after her friend Rira even. There we go. So Rira is going to take good care of Isria, and Isana can pass in peace knowing that everything will be okay that way. Oh my goodness. All right, and then we have Baria, and she is going to gather up those pieces. She made the final killing bite, so she can be the one to collect that. Oh, did I just get a mutation? Black fur! Did we mutate black fur? Mutate yellow fur and dots, I think, is what you have to do for this one. And then let's see, I need to mutate dots in order to get panda pattern, so we'll keep working on that too. All right, so let's come over and see a plain pattern child who has cracking ability, but she doesn't have antlers. We're so close and yet so far away. We're getting closer, and yet not quite close enough. None of these children can crack anything. Anna is can, but she doesn't have antlers, so it would be a little bit wrong. So I guess this is where Tigaris gets to come in and introduce herself by walking up to the tide pool and cracking open a shell, and everyone's like, gasp! Does she have the Seer abilities? And yes, she does. So let's go ahead and get little baby Vonro out of the way. And we'll move Tigaris up into this nest and have her mate with Honoro. And we'll see what kind of child they have. So there's lots of babies being born left and right. And Nuta, if only he had had antlers, he would have been a Seer. But at least he can go over and he can kind of explore and help. They have so many babies right now. He can explore and help try to find some berries at least. And Ora Oka, I wish I knew what kind of children to try to encourage you to have. Did she pass on the immunity D yet? I don't think she has. And I'm beginning to realize that I'm running very low on certain genes. So ironically, I'm gonna go ahead. Come here, Honoro, and we'll have Honoro have one last child. And if both of these children are unhealthy as well, and I should have changed the mutation, gosh darn, then we know that Honoro is, unfortunately, well, a really wonderful storyteller and in charge of teaching all of the children born here at Mother's Peninsula about the importance of the Seer of the Tide Pool line. He just doesn't have the best kids. So we'll have to see what we're going to do with him. And then Ravan, who I really want to get over to Mirami. We're going to have these two try to meet ASAP across the tide pools and mate and hopefully make it over to the Mother's Peninsula so that they can have babies over there. Lilia is getting older and she's going to be passing away pretty soon, so she's just going to go down. I think she'll head down this way because she wants to chase down some of these bunnies. Racimi, same thing. She's getting a little bit older. I'm really going to miss her. So let me go ahead. She's my last super strong female, and I'm going to look at her traits so I know what made her so strong. Having poison fangs gives us strength. Her normal body gives us strength, but if we had a big body, that would have given us even more strength. Her claw gives us strength, and her antlers give us strength. So if I had a large body, poison fang, antlers, and maybe even more claws, we could have more strength. So I'm gonna have to look into that. And maybe that 5 or 6 strength, spiky body does give you strength too, but it may be 5 or 6 strength and maybe even panda pattern. Let's see if we have, so 2 for big body, and then say we had 1 claw. So 2 for strength on claw, so that'd be 4 altogether. And then if we had ram horns, that'd be 5. And if we had poison fangs, that would be 7 strength right there before we even start looking into things like having a spikiness. And can you get any more? No other strength things. Maybe big ears would be good for hearing. Yeah, I think what I really want to have for Beryl's line is I want to be able to make a line of pandas, dark pandas with venomous fangs, black antlers, big bodies, 1 claw, and 1 nimble finger. And I think that's going to be like my ideal goal look for the Killer Island. And let's see, we're gonna make Nunu go about face in just a second, and he can just like clear away grass. And then we'll have Kuki come up and introduce himself to these fine ladies. So he can just come right. You were supposed to move there, Kuki. We'll have him introduce himself. We'll have little baby Rael come over here. And Beryl's getting a little bit older than her sister, so we'll have her breed first. And then her sister, it doesn't really matter if her sister breeds the second. All right, there we go. So Beryl is working her way over. Hopefully having 2 of my venomous fang creatures breed will keep venomous fangs in the family. All right, and then down here, it looks like we have a crabbit attack. We've got crabbits showing up all over the place. So we'll have Sansi stay here, and we'll work together. Let's see. So Sansi has attack 3, so I wonder if having like attack level 3 actually makes it easier to destroy the crabbits. So I'll have to see. Maybe if we have a really strong creature wandering along the beach and they go after the crabbits, it makes it easier. All right, and Koki, you have collecting ability, so you can move over here, sir. And then, honestly, so close and yet no antlers for being able. She can do a little fishing and a little cracking and a little collecting. I really, if I'm gonna go into the ocean and have creatures that go into the ocean, I need to actually devote myself to trying to breed up the genetics that would make it useful to go into the ocean. All right, and then our little Isria, so cute. She will help to collect up some of the Seer stuff in the future too. And I'll have Isana stand here with Rira, and they can just eat some berries together and dream about the good times. And then Chet is going to be one of my little exploring males in the future, because he doesn't really have any other skills that are super useful. All right, is that about everything? Oh, nope, I forgot about this group. Still worried about the unprotected baby chorus. So we'll gather that up and then immediately jump over to her to try to defend her. And then Kanyudu can actually start wandering around here looking for crabbits and possibly fish. And then up here, these guys are going to continue the dutiful work that they have, clearing away some of these streams and these fields and trying just to make the path so that the future tribes will travel to the last island a little bit faster. Alright, so I really want to see what Beryl's child is going to look like, because Beryl is going to be my next focus. These guys can just be the mess of breeding that they are at this rate, and eventually I'll pull from whoever's left to try to like get good genetics before the final island. But I just love the idea of this big, messy, happy family telling lots and lots of stories and interpretations, even if nobody really has the Seer ability anymore other than Nami and Tigress here, and it's not very strong because it's so diluted. I just love the idea of this big happy family splashing around the tide pool together, and I'd be okay with leaving most of them behind because we would always have that mental image of them playing and just having a great time in the tide pool and reading what's inside of the shells. So I don't mind if their genetics are all over the place, is the bottom line. So that being said, let's see what kind of chaos the next babies are going to bring. Yes! Some more panda patterns! Maybe I'll send some of these ones north. Oh my goodness. And we've got a beautiful violet-eyed panda pattern. And are they both? Oh, we have some venomous fangs. Kolasi here actually would be great to go up north. So she's going to go up north because she actually has nothing to do with the sea at all. So she's going to be headed up north. She has B and A immunity. And then we have F and A immunity. So they're actually healthy children for once. On this little guy, you guys, Kiratak, oh my gosh. Okay, Tigress, you just had a child, and I think we'd name him, let's see, we had Dido, so I'm gonna name him Daikir after his grandmother. I think he may actually be the first male Seer the family has ever had born. He has like the panda pattern, but he's got everything else we need. He has the cracking ability. He has red antlers. And that's pretty much like 2 out of the 3 things. If he only had no patterned fur, it would be totally perfect. But I think he may be considered like one of our very first male Seers, because all of the other like red, if you look over here, all of the other red antlered males I've had don't have the cracking ability. So this is the very first time we've had a male with red antlers since we've really been keeping track lately of the Seer line who can crack them open. That's so exciting. Congratulations, you two. I didn't know you had panda pattern between the two of you to have show up. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna like try to stick in the no pattern next time I breed those two. But that's wonderful. Oh my gosh. So they may actually have a strong line and bring back the actual strength of the Seers of the tide pool. And I love that he ended up with purple eyes too. Oh, that's so fun. All right, so this family maybe isn't doomed forever, and we might be able to do something with them after all. And let's see, anybody else? I think Beryl was just getting ready to have her next child. So, and her son is unattended. That's not the best thing in the world. So I'm gonna have her sister Tumi move over here. We're gonna have little Rael. He's gonna be like, I smell berries that way. And then we'll have Kuki come over and breed with her. And then maybe he will kind of stick close by, but not too close by. And I'm going to have you go ahead and do some exploring. We'll have Beryl go ahead. She'll do some exploring and then pop into the nest. And then we'll pop over here. There we go, keeping an eye on little Rael. And then let's go down the line. Oh, we lost her. It's Anna. I'm going to miss you. Your daughter Isria is a little bit sickly. A and G immunity, so she has the G immunity at least. And Rira is going to guide little Isria down towards the tide pools and be able to show her the world of all the clam shells that she could ever possibly want. I'm gonna miss her so much. All right, and we'll have Lily go ahead. She kind of wants to hang out over here, keep a good eye on this bunny burrow and any yummy bunny snacks she might grab. And Racimi is just gonna settle in and fill her old belly and her old bones on some of those delicious berries. And it's almost like we have a really beautiful little set of rocks here that they can maybe get some sort of significance out of. So I'm gonna have to think about that. And then Borea, I think I might send Borea up to the girls up north because she may be potentially a good breeder. I think I'm going to stick with trying to pull from the venomous fangs and maybe the panda pattern carriers for a little bit. And so we'll have her start moving up north. And I think Chet is going to go too, though I don't know if he'd be a good breeder. Maybe better than nothing. And so these two might start exploring up to the north just to start covering some of the grasslands too. And then over here, what am I even going to do with this mess? Look at all of these creatures. Well, over here, I guess since the nest is about to be empty, I can have, well, yeah, I mean, the nest is, which nest is closer? I think she's actually closer to this nest. So I think Ravan is going to go ahead and contribute his genetics over here to Mirami, and she can go on that nest. And then Ravan was eventually making his way towards fish, towards the koi fish. That's what he's after, the grand koi fish. Hopefully he'll be able to track it down. And then Koki, I just saw a bunny. Can we get the bunny? And there's lots and lots of clamshells over here, so we'll work on that. And then Rila is old enough to help out with collecting from clamshells and attacking some of the crabbits, so we can work with these two to start collecting up everything here. So, and then Rila is actually old enough to start having some children, I just realized. So that may be really nice too. And I need to change Kovan's colors. Kovan! Kovan might actually be really wonderful with his fishing ability and his underwater breathing and his cracking, which is all of the traits that I want to have on my water swimmers. He might be really good to breed with some of these panda orcas that I ended up with, who unfortunately, while they have underwater breathing, can't really do much. So where's my underwater breathers? Need to make sure I change all of their little markers. All right, so I'm going to send Lana Oko over here. And I think all of my playful underwater breathers who are old enough, I will start sending over to splash in the tide pool over here or in here. And maybe if I leave one adult like kind of sitting in the beach, then that'll keep all of the babies safe. All right, and then Anasi is good at collecting, so I'm going to just start moving her up towards this berry area. And then we have Nami, of course, who's one of my good swimmers. And let's see, Anasisi, is good at, she can crack open some clams. I think there were some clams over here, so we'll send her over there. And Nami, is there anybody I could possibly breed you with that might end up with something useful? Maybe Ravan? Maybe. I'm getting kind of desperate just breeding at random now. Well, you know what? Let's try putting Beak back into this group after ending up with like Water Body too. So I'm going to put Water Body and Beak in, and then I'm going to send her over here and have her breed with Ravan. We're just kind of having fun with a hodgepodge genetic mishmash now. And then Tagaris did end up having a healthy child with Anaro. And so if their child ended up mostly looking like that, what if I can really shoot for trying to have a no pattern baby? Let's see if we get a no pattern baby out of Anaro, since Daikir is one of the first male seers ever born into the tribe, and he's born into a big happy family, so I don't think he's ever known anything different than this gigantic overwhelming family of joy. And then Orca, did she have, dang it, and I still need to breed her because she's one of the very few I have ever seen this immunity D on. And it looks like the best one to breed her with would be Ravan. So Ravan's about to have a great time because he's going to be moved over here as one of our main males. And then I did want to get her down here so she could go ahead and grab that clam. I think the clams will disappear after a while if you don't snag them too. And Anaro is just going to be very, very happy teaching all of these children and watching the Mother's Peninsula really come to life again. Whew. So there's that. And then the very last thing, I almost forgot we had to do this over here too. Thank goodness these little ones managed to survive. Can you find any fish to fish? Not yet. And then Dugdrio, can you find... You and Chorus can go ahead and search along here. They won't go too far from the Lost Peninsula because we want to keep them here. That's their whole story. But they will help out when it comes to just like clearing all this grass away and making a little bit of progress. There we go. So the very last thing we are going to do now, we're going to see what Beryl's new child is going to look like. So let's cross our fingers that it is going to be a strong child. That's what she really wants. So adding to the family, a little girl, and she has fishing tail. I think hopefully we can forgive her for that. And look at her name, Anna. I love it. We'll leave that name. She's got good speed. What genetics did she end up with the most? Good immunity, good eyesight, good hind legs, poison fangs. I think we can forgive her for some of the other things. We really want to try to see that ram horn actually show up, and we want to try to get big body. So if she had big body and ram horn, she would have had 5 strength and she would have been pretty well rounded out, but she is missing the nimble fingers, so she doesn't have the cracking ability that Beryl really is going for on all of her children. So we'll have to see what we do with that group. And I think I heard something make a little growly noise. So maybe it was just Racimi passing away, perhaps. And then we're gonna keep an eye out. Oh, I almost forgot we had another baby coming in, and it's Kuduk. And Kuduk has panda pattern, cracking ability, and Kuduk looks like he may be going up north, actually, because he fits a whole bunch of the traits we're going for with Beryl's group. All right, so I'm probably going to start breeding up a lot faster and just letting the story be a lot looser. Like, everybody's frolicking and having a good time down here. And, oh, I almost forgot we also had a baby over here. All right, and Kukir, who is a little bit of a letdown as Mirami's last child and just proves how her first mate was really meant to be. But he'll be a good little explorer for us. So yeah, he's not really worth breeding though if you look at his strength being so low, unless he does have the D immunity, so we'll have to think about that. But we're really going to just start being a lot looser and more free with letting everybody to the south play around and just have a good time, and collect up clams and splash in the waters. And everybody up north is going to really buckle down on having lots of babies and really focusing on trying to get some of the best possible genetics we can find. So, we're actually exploring the island. I would say it's not too much longer before we're just going to have to start picking the best and the healthiest of our children and move into the next island, you guys. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.